And finally, it is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Jorge Lopes Ramos, who is to be admitted as a Fellow of Rose Bruford College. Dr. Jorge Lopes Ramos graduated from the BA Honours European Theatre Arts degree programme at Rose Bruford College in 2004. Guess which programme they're on. Since then, he has worked in a myriad of theatre-making roles, and he finished his PhD in 2016, committed to pushing his own boundaries as well as testing the limits of theatrical performance and what that can entail for an audience. George is now the Executive Director of ZU UK, an international theatre and digital art company based in East London and Rio de Janeiro, which he runs with Artistic Director Peri Saji Maravala. The company's multi-award-winning work has been performed in over 15 countries and extensively written about over the years. Across all of ZU UK's projects, George is invariably involved in numerous parts of the creative process, from developing the projects, to fundraising, to researching, and sometimes even performing. ZU UK's projects span many fields, including concept development, game design, and interactive technology, and more recently, George was the Artistic Director of the Rose Bruford College Annual Symposium 2019. As a company, ZU UK is committed to the development of emerging BAME artists who wouldn't normally be able to access arts training. And for the past 11 years, he has been running a residency program called Drift across the world. George is also the Programme Director for the MA Contemporary Performance Practice Programme and a Senior Lecturer at the University of East London. Chair of Governors, I am pleased to present Dr. Jorge Lopes Ramos, who is to be admitted as a Fellow of Rose Bruford College.
By virtue of the powers invested in me, I am delighted to admit Dr. Jorge Lopes Ramos as a Fellow of Rose Bruford College.
Congratulations on this day. Just the fact that you finished your course is a commitment to something that you believe in. I was here on this stage about almost 20 years ago, naked, playing a violin just over there. Because I was learning about the impact of notating my dreams as a device to devising new pieces of theatre. And that blew my mind at the time. So no doubt Rose Bruford was not just a ground for me to expand my understanding of what theatre could be and who it was for, but also it was the place that everything started. The person who probably hated us the most was Frank, the caretaker, because we would be here until the official hour of closing, any room that was available for us to use. And he was hoping that we would get away or he would close early and do his golf, and sadly. So I'm sorry, Frank. So Rose Bruford is very much part of who I am today. And coming back this year to curate the symposium was an absolute delight. It was an opportunity to look at what Rose Bruford is now, and I think part of today and this incredible group of individuals that I'm so honored to be part of just now reflects, I think, a huge new direction and commitment that the college has taken, which is very different to 20 years ago, and I'm really excited about that. I think that you can see a lot of change happening, which is great. So when the email came about the fellowship, first I really didn't expect it. And the second one, what is a fellowship? I mean, what does it really mean? Is it because they want me to do something? Is it, everything goes through your head. And so I started looking around us, like, wow, this is distinction and achievement. And I tried to look back and say, okay, what can I say to honor such a title? And I think one thing that has become more and more clear to me today is that I certainly have not done this on my own in any way. I certainly took a lot of initiative and I was here, but there are key people across my life who have made it not just possible, but with the nurture and the care and the support. And I also realized that for a long time, I idealized key male figures in my life and neglected absolutely essential women who have been inspirational and without whom I just would not be here. That's just that simple. And that goes from the people who helped me set up the company here at Rose Bruford, who endured the process of registering companies, setting up a trust, fundraising, administration, and all that. It so starts with my mother, who I give very little credit for, and should give more for just the generosity of that person. But also two absolutely incredible people. One is my daughter, who is here today, just over there. We were at the protest this morning, and we were there because of her. She wanted to strike, she left school, and we went. And because of her, me and my wife are also pescatarians, not vegetarians just yet. We're slowly getting there. But she turned vegetarian at 5 and just said, "What are you doing?" So you're incredible. And my wife, Persijaj Maravala, who's there, also filming, and who not only is my wife, in fact, she's the most extraordinary artist I've ever met in my life. And there's absolutely no doubt about that for me. She's incredibly supportive, unbelievably generous, and she's way more deserving of praise for achievement than I am. I'm very lucky to be her collaborator. So if it's okay, I'd like my daughter, my wife, to come and receive the award with me.